Okay, so so the one thing I don't like about Tracer on Junkertown, everything that you have to do as Tracer involves you using your blinks, and part of that is because that there's a lot of very open space. And again, this is very similar to Numbani, where particularly on third point, the only place of flanking angles that you can take as Tracer require you to use your blinks to actually get through them. So you can think about through here, you have to actually blink to get to the healers who are going to be around here. And then going in through here, it's a very, or through here rather, what ends up happening is that it's a very narrow angle, and it's very easy for you to get slept or damaged in some sort of way. So it's like you can't exactly, so it's hard for you to actually push through there. And you can also think like, if the enemy team is holding here, why the hell would they let you blink in through here, all the way through here, right? So then you're instantly known that you're going to be in this position, like around here. So it's a bit tough. The thing about Junkertown though, sorry about that, you are here. Okay, so being able to go from this area to here, you can see would require you to use blinks. Going from here to here, blinks. Anywhere you want to go will require you to use blinks, especially here, right? Because it's like there's literally zero cover in this area. Anywhere, right? So playing Tracer in this will be a bit tough. And I'd say it's very intrinsic on you owning this area, kind of like around here. Because like going from here to here, it doesn't require as many blinks and you instantly have cover available for yourself, right? Whereas you can see that it's like using a blink just to get across this gap, or using a blink to get across a gap is kind of not very good, because then it's like you have one less blink available to actually engage, or like to actually fight with. So yeah, that's one criticism I have about this already. But let's actually go ahead and watch the footage.
Stop the payload.
It's a bit loud. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so you see, you can't exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? You can't engage the Widowmaker from here because your damage when the Widowmaker is here is literally 0, right? So what do you have to do? You have to blink towards her, right? And from that, now it's like you have one less blink to actually go fight somebody useful, right? Or to fight somebody that's actually relevant to facing your team. But then again, you play Widow, Tracer, McCree, Junkertown. Okay, then I won't harp on it too much. But let's just keep on going. Yeah, okay, so that was literally the worst mistake ever from the Widowmaker. She goes up to take the high ground, and then she just instantly gives it up and you punish that. So that's very good from you on your part. So if anything, for any lower ranked players who are watching right now, this is a good example of what it is that you can be doing a bit more, where it's like you're playing a bit more patient, like as Tracer. And it's like you're waiting for those times to actually, and you see he's not blinking. Okay, this is another thing that I can point out that's good. He used he got as close as he possibly could to the Ana, right? And he's not using his blinks to actually fight her, right? Once she is gonna start using abilities, that's when she'll start blinking, right? So you see she naded, so then he used a blink to dodge the nade, right? And the thing is, this is exactly where I was talking about, where it's like you can get an engagement, but it's like it's a very wide area for you to be attacked from. Like you can, there you go, right? So you get shit on, you get sniped, right? Because you don't have any actual cover to blink to, right? Or you don't have any cover to just like generally play around. That's where it's a bit tough playing Tracer here. But yeah, you can see that. Wow. Hopefully you should be able to see shit better now. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so okay. One thing I absolutely dislike about this already is that you have like literally 0 blinks. Okay. So let's actually use a different color because Junkertown's a bit AIDS. You have literally 0 blinks, and what you did is that you just gave up high ground, right? So if, let's say, you do want to get back up onto the high ground, Now you don't have blinks, and you don't have recall because your recall is the only way to actually get yourself back onto the high ground, right? So in this instance, this is very bad in that, for one thing, you won't be able to sustain this fight for long at all because you didn't wait for your cooldowns to actually come back on. And for another thing, you used way too many cooldowns going in through where? Nope, sorry. You used way too many cooldowns going in through here. Like, there's literally no reason to blink right there. And that sounds nitpicky, but at the same time, it's like, if you see... Yeah, like, if you scout out at first... So, let's actually... I want to watch this one time. Yeah, okay. So, I like the fact that you walk past the corner before blinking, because a lot of people, sometimes they just blink past the corner, and then you're out in the open. Right, so this is a good practice of where it is that you're walking to the corner, scouting, and then moving forward. In reality, I think you should be like scouting this because there could be a Widowmaker here, and then you could boop, come back, and then you realize that this isn't a place that you want to be pushing. And it's like, this is a narrow sideline, so it'd be easier for her to actually kill you if you did pressure her here. Assuming that she's looking down this way, like looking for you. But yeah, there's no reason to blink right there. You can see that there was no pressure, right? And if anything, from what you see, well... Oh, okay, I see why he blinks. He ends up blinking because he wants to go from this corner to, from that cover to the past cover. But the one thing I don't like is that rather than actually looking for where the Widowmaker is, like scouting... Hold on, again. Come on. Right here, where instead of like looking before you actually... What am I doing? I have this. When you actually walk into this area here, at this cover, you could actually look towards here, right? And then you'd be able to examine whether or not you can just walk through here freely, right? And if you could walk through here freely, then you can go ahead, right? So you'd be examining from this corner. You'd be able to examine, okay, is there anything down this sideline? No? Okay, I can walk forward. Is there anything when you get to here? Is there anything down this sideline? No? Okay, then I can walk forward. And then from here, you'd be able... Now you'd have the high ground. For one thing, you'd maintain a blink. So that'd be easier for you to actually sustain and maybe fight the Ana and kill her. So, yeah, I'd say that the management of your blinks and, like, the way that you're scouting for where enemies are to, like, make a decision needs a bit of work in that sense. Yeah, right? So you see, realistically, you shouldn't... How low did you go? You went down to like 43 just because you didn't have any blinks at this point. That should literally never be happening, especially considering... Look at how low the Ana is after she used... Well... Did she get hit by a Helix? Is that what that was? No. That was legitimately just your damage, right? You should have another blink here. And it's really nitpicky of me to say that, because you have one. But realistically, you should not be getting hit here. You should have the other blink available for you to finish off this, and then recall and get out, right? So this is where I say it's poor blink management. You need to be a lot more mindful of it. And you're using way too much. For one thing, your recall, it's like you end up in the same position, and you don't even have blinks available to begin with. And you didn't even secure a kill, right? So it's not even like this is super valuable. You get the kill here, but it could have been a lot more useful to get it earlier, right? Because by now you could have been focusing something differently. And it's like, right now, it's like you're gonna see that it's like, realistically, look, you literally have no blinks right now and no recall. How the fuck are you not dead, right? This is like absolute bot play from the D.Va. I'm going to tell you that right now. And you're going to see that you go down to like 8 health. Yeah, okay, so like 8 health, I'm pretty sure. Or, I mean, that's what I guessed I'm at. Got a bit lucky with that. I'm not going to complain about that pulse spawn. You already know that's wrong. Yeah, so that blink management is terrible. It's putting you into a position where you're forcing yourself to be at your ultimatum at all times, right? Where it's like you have to be constantly like landing all the perfect shots at the exact moment, And it's like, you shouldn't allow yourself to get to that point. You should make these kills easier for yourself by just managing your blinks properly. Yeah, so that's what I have to say about this so far. I am curious to see what you do. Let's just keep watching. Again, like you can see how this is kind of like a wasted blink, right? It's like you're trying to get up to this area to scout, but it's like realistically there's no real need to, right? If anything, you just kind of gave up your position, right? And now you're down to blink. It's like you're constantly trying to look for things by blinking all the time, when in reality you can just walk, right? You do have an increased movement speed. Use that to your advantage, where you can just like walk faster than people, right? And that sounds super nitpicky, but it's like it comes to the point where you will find that is an issue. I really like this, where you were using... That was good. There you go. Easy kill, right? Now, again, this is you not using your blinks properly, and that this is where Junkertown gets a bit tough again, right? Because it's like, you see, just to get up to this range, you have to actually blink and into open area. It's not like there's cover that you can actually sustain this position from. The first thing I would say that you want to be looking for at this situation is where the health packs are. Part of what's important as Tracer is knowing where your health packs are, so then you have a route to play. And in your case, it would be the health pack that's around here. So I would say the best thing you can do is walk first. Again, after you get a kill, scout what's going on around you, make a decision. In your case, you made the decision here, but I don't think you needed to take this route, when you could have played a bit more safe and gotten the kill regardless, because their healers were down. Or I believe they were down. Let's see. Yeah, I think they're Ana and Lucio was in spawn. Let's actually go back and watch. No, it's your Ana. Okay. But I still think you could be playing this a bit safer. You shouldn't have had... Yeah, and look. The health pack is available. So that's what I'm saying. You need to be a bit more aware of what it is that you're doing and like scouting to make a decision first. Where it's like when you're playing behind this cover, this is literally the only cover available for you. You should back up. And then like... Or if not, you can even blink towards here, get the health pack, and then walk in, finish the damage here. Because it's like realistically, you're going to lose this fight regardless. And... Well, okay. No, that's wrong. Didn't see the Hammond. Okay. So you can be thinking, I think, if you had taken the time to actually scout, right? If you had taken the time to actually scout and realize that there was a Hammond here contesting for you, you would know that now you have a bit more time bought so that you can actually go to this area, right? So you don't necessarily need to engage at 80 health. You can engage at the full 150. And then from there, you would actually be able to alternate stalling with the Hammond, and you'd probably be able to get a useful or a meaningful stall, right? And you could possibly even win it because, yeah, possibly, but there's a good chance that you might not. It's a prime example where you're at right now. Yeah, I don't really think there's any reason for you to actually give up the high ground here. Where you're here, be on the high ground, and you can select where it is that you want to go with your blinks, right? So you can take the high ground that's up here, you can take the high ground that's here, you can take the high ground that's here. The whole thing is that now you have a different approach, whereas when you actually drop down onto the point, there's, for one thing, there's a better chance of you getting caught in the crossfire. And then if you think about it, if all the enemies are here, if all the enemies are like in this zone and you put yourself in this zone right here, when they move towards like here inevitably and they rotate around, your sight lines open up wider, right? So now there's, again, this is like something that we were going over in the last review. So your sightlines open up wider. So now you alternatively have more angles to be actually attacked from. So it's like it lessens your ability to actually to survive, right? Whereas if you hold an angle like this, you've instantly cut off this angle, right? And now your angles are a lot more clear, right? And from here, you'll be able to react a lot better, and you'll be able to actually, for one thing, you won't be as damaged, right? And you can alternatively think, if you're up here and somebody starts shooting at you, they're no longer shooting at the core of your team, which is like around here, right? So it's like you have less pressure for your team just because you're taking an alternate angle. Whereas if you're on the point, there's a good chance you will get caught in the crossfire inherently just because they're going to be shooting at your team. And then it's also harder for you to actually make a decision and land something. In your case, the pulse bomb. So yeah, that's what to say about that. Ooh, yay. What was this? Yeah, okay. That's the one thing that I was talking about at the beginning, where you don't blink past the corner. You can see that instantly you saw. Rather than just literally walking and figuring out what goes on, you blink past the corner, and then now you're in a sight line right here, right? 1v1 with someone. So now you instantly have to blink back because you're too close. Now you only have one blink to actually get out. If you die here... Okay, so now you have nothing, pretty much. You have no recall, you have no blink. And now you can't, again, now you can't sustainably put out pressure, right? The whole thing is that you want to be consistently annoying. You don't want to be annoying in pulses. Yeah, you annoyed the Genji to like get to the point, but now he's getting on the point, right? Or now he's taking a position that he wants to take. You're not doing shit right now. It's like, this is literally, you're not doing anything at this point. If anything, you're just wasting health packs. Because it's just like, you took damage for literally no reason. When around this time, who could have you been killing earlier? I don't know, an Ana, the Nano Blade, or maybe the Lucio. The whole point is that you're forcing them to make decisions. At this point, you gave them decision in that they know that your team is all around here, botting out, doing whatever, but you haven't been doing anything to actually allow your team to actually counter push. Yeah, this really, really sucks on your end. This is really bad. And now you've just caught yourself out in the bad angle. Or, well, no, at an angle that's okay, but they know you're there, right? So it's like they're expecting you. Let's actually look at McCree. Jesus Christ. Okay. So are you just not playing with a main tank? Is that the whole thing? Do you have a ball one trick? Is that what that is? I'm just gonna sit here and watch because I just want to. I'll come back eventually to like go over everything. Yeah. So okay, this is another example of you forcing an angle way too much. You kind of do this as Tracer, where it's like you're putting yourself at an angle that you could be right here doing the exact same thing you're doing right now, shooting at a diva, but it's like you're putting yourself at an angle where you end up here and you can whatever demech the diva. But how are you going to get out of this situation? Where can you actually go? This way? Well, you roll and then you end up making it to like here. But then there's still distance that you have to actually cover to get to the car, right? So you're very killable. If you back up, you can roll, but actually you don't have your roll online. I didn't even notice that. So you don't even have that option available to you. Get the kill on the mech. But you see, you put yourself in a position where you didn't have the means to actually get out. So it's like, there's literally zero reason why you should ever die there, right? And I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to make that point clear because it's like there really isn't any reason for you to die. You should just be alive, fragging out right now, building up ult charge. And especially since you know that you don't have a shield, you're playing as if you do have like kind of a shield, like a universal shield wherever you are. you need to be playing your corners a lot more proactively. Yeah. So this standing on the point, I don't know if I'm a fan of it. Again, where are you right now? You're in the middle of nowhere when you could just be playing a health pack, or like kind of progressive, like playing even just like on the cart where you get passive healing. You could be the exact same thing you're doing now, and then if you get pushed, you roll, and then you go back to the health pack. And the whole thing is that you're sustaining yourself in that sense. You're playing in a way that you're trying to force things way too much. And it's like, the thing is that you're not even bad mechanically, right? But you're putting yourself in... Look at this. Look at how... Chat, I want you to look at this, right? How dog shit is this, right? Look at all this space that you can move, and not a single one of these areas that you move to, you have cover in, right? What couldn't you be doing to the diva that's right here that you couldn't already be doing standing like right here, or here, or here, or here, or here, anywhere, right? You still relatively had the same thing, and you could even be helping somebody. Right now, you're just trying to like frag out and do whatever the fuck you want here. But it's just, there's no reason to. It's like, I don't know, man. There's just literally no reason for you to be standing in this position. It's just a really terrible position. And you get fragged out on by a Lucio. That's just sad, right? If you were, and you can also think about it like this too, right? This Lucio can see you from here, right? If you had been like from where you're standing, again, this is where I was talking about as a tracer. When you get yourself into the middle of the action, your angles widen, right? So it's like where the diva is like right here. Well, the diva's right here actually. Where the diva's right there, you can see that your angles to actually see the Lucio open up, right? But the further that you move back, your angles tighten, right? So you could transition from one target to another. And the thing is that I'm not even taking into account the fact that he's vertically challenging you, right? So it's like even wider than like a 90-degree angle like this. It's more like, it's just like more of an insane angle they have to play at, right? And the further that he gets onto you, the harder that angle becomes, because now he's literally on top of you as you focusing this way, right? You have zero clue that he's here. None, right? And let's just look at it. Let's see how much you can actually see of him when you're alive. None, you just get shit on. You just got fucked, right? It's like, there's nothing you can do here. You're putting yourselves into a position where you can just get killed for literally zero reason. There's none. No reason. You should not be dying, especially considering like you're good mechanically. It's just dumb. You're being really dumb here.
My blade is ready to be unleashed.
I mean, it's literally the same thing. This is a little bit better because now you're playing this corner. You're playing that corner. You're getting kills. You're getting jumped on. But then the thing is that you're playing in a position where even if you went a bit aggressive, you have your Widowmaker, your grapple to get out. Now, let's actually go back a bit because I want to watch it. No, not her. Nope. Yeah, here. There's a lot of things I don't like about what you're going to see here. Right, so the angle that you're holding right now, perfectly fine, right? Because the thing is that if you zoom out, boom, you instantly close it off with this box, right? But now, you're going to see where you take your position. Right here, right here is I'm specifically talking about. You opened it up more than you actually needed to, right? It's like if this Lucio does get headshots on you, now, like, you already made the jump, right? So you go, watch, one jump, and then that would have closed off the angle if you go this way. If you go this way, you close off the angle instantly. But then you jump again even further, right? So now it's like 2 jumps. Now you have to go 1, 2, or you just have to completely let go and you have to like run, right? So it's like in this area, what you're doing is that again, you're opening yourself to like angles that you just don't need to be opening yourself up to. It's completely unnecessary.
Блять, хорошо, что это сундуки вот эти остались наверху, заебись вообще. Да ты чё?